Today I want to show you guys how to make this scrumptious sourdough loaf. Let's take a look at it. Let me cut off this back end right here. Look, gorgeous, right? And delicious too. Welcome to the Bare Pantry Show. If you're looking for authentic Belizean recipes, then you're in the right place. My name is Barbara and this is Cooking Made Simple. So the first thing we have to do is proof the sponge. So this is my starter from the fridge. To this I'm adding 1 cup of all-purpose flour and 1 cup of filtered water. And then I'm going to stir it to make a paste. I always do this from the night before because this needs 3 to 6 hours to get done, all right? So cover it up, leave it overnight. Now this is the next day, and I'm stirring it up because now we're going to make the mother. So I'm pouring out 1 cup of my proofed sponge, and then I'm going to add half a cup of water, filtered water, and half a cup of all-purpose flour. Mix this into a paste. I'm going to add back my proofed sponge here, and I'm doing this because I need a spout from the cup to pour everything back into my clean jar, okay? And then I'm going to set this back on the fridge. And then now it's time to make the bread. So half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of salt, depending on how salty you want it. 2 tablespoons of regular white sugar. You can put less if you like less, but I like it this way. And then 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. That's all it is to making this bread. Now we're just going to add flour. Let me stir it first. And it's all-purpose flour. And how much am I gonna add? I don't know. I just add enough to make it into a dough ball, all right? So I'm just using this stick thing that you use to make cupcakes. I'll use all type of weird stuff as tools so that we don't have to use the stand mixer or a bread mixing thing. So now it's time to take it out of the bowl, put it onto the countertop, and then lavishly flour it until the sticky mess becomes a smooth dough ball, all right? So just work with it slowly. And then pretty soon it'll look like this. Now I've cleaned my bowl and I'm greasing it with some olive oil. Then here goes my dough ball. Cover it up and leave this for about 6 hours. And then look, it's risen. So now it's time to reknead. Sometimes when the day is extra warm, all this stuff will take like 4 hours instead of 6 hours, okay? So you have to have all day to do sourdough. I knead it up early in the morning and then like around 2 in the afternoon. This is when I'm doing this. We're gonna make a loaf. Oh, by the way, a lot of you have been asking for me to show you guys how to make the starter, and I did that in an individual video before, but I'm actually going to put that at the end of this video. I'm going to grab that video and just kind of splice it in here so you guys can see how to make the starter, okay, right at the end. So just going to pinch the bottom like this. Tuck your ends under. Well, it's over right now, right? I'm going to roll it over, see? And here's our loaf. Put it in a greased loaf pan and cover it up for about 1.5 hours to 3 hours, just depending on how hot the day is. See how it looks with all these craters? That's perfect. Now the oven is up to temperature at 350. That's 350 degrees Fahrenheit, okay, not Celsius. And then about 40-45 minutes later, this is what it looks like. Let me go ahead and remove it. It's still warm. It's nighttime. It takes so long to do sourdough bread. Look, see all these holes and stuff? They say all that's legit when it comes to sourdough bread. Okay. We're gonna cut the first slice, and nobody in here is allowed to touch until I do my thumbnail when we have daylight again. Pray for us. Come, Josh. Ooh, look. See all those holes? It's a good one. I have 4 starters, or 4 mothers, I should say. Are they mothers when they're sitting there? I think they're starters. I don't understand the complexity of sourdough. All I know is I watched a bunch of videos back in 2015, messed up a bunch of starters, messed up a bunch of breads until I got this recipe down pat. This is like merged together from 3 different people. Normally I save this piece for Joe, but not today. He has another, the other egg. It's good. Now I'm ready for breakfast in the morning, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye. I'm licking my lips. So I have several starters in my fridge already because I started making starters back in 2015. But I'm going to make this one from scratch to show you guys. So all we need is a cup of all-purpose flour and 1 cup of filtered water. And I'm just pouring the water on top of the flour because we're going to mix this to make a paste, kind of like when we used to make kites. Did you guys used to make kites? Even though I'm a girl, I used to make a lot of kites when I lived in Belize. So see, this is what it's going to look like. And use something rubber or something plastic because every time I've used something metal, my starter goes bad. I don't know why, but it goes bad. So you're not going to need pineapple juice and all that mess. Just flour and water. Clean up the bowl and then cover it up. You can also do shrink wrap, but I don't have any, so the parchment will do fine. And I'll see you guys in 24 hours when it's time to feed it. 24 hours later, day 1 has come to an end. And so this is what it looks like. A few bubbles. Now all we have to do is stir it up to make sure that everything is well incorporated. And then we're going to pour off half of this solution. So just eyeball it. And we're going to throw away whatever we poured off, all right? So half a cup of flour this time and half a cup of filtered water. So it's not 1 cup and 1 cup anymore. It's half and half. And all I'm doing is mixing it up in here. And then I'm going to pour this to the mixture that I have in the big bowl. And then we have to cover it up again and leave it for another 24 hours, okay? So if you start at nighttime, you're going to be taking care of this at nighttime. Cover it loosely. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I used to put it on the top of the fridge when I was making starter, but it always got too warm and it spoiled it. So don't do that, all right? Just set it here. See you tomorrow. 48 hours later, this is the end of day 2. And take a look at how stretchy it's getting. See? Yes, this is developing very nicely. Okay, always smell it. It's supposed to smell like paste, like flour and water. If it smells putrid, what's that? Kind of like dirty trash or throw up, throw it away because then you spoil it. Go ahead and throw it half. Eyeball it, all right? So that was a little bit more than half, but it's okay because remember, we're going to be adding more flour and water to the mixture. So are you guys getting the hang of it right now? It's half a cup of flour and half a cup of filtered water that we're going to mix and then add back into the bowl. So this is all we're doing. Sometimes you can do it for 3 days and your starter will be ready, but other times you may have to go for closer to 5 to 7 days. So I don't know how long we're going to have to go this time. I'm just going to know it's done when I see a whole bunch of bubbles develop in my flour paste, all right? So all I'm doing is mixing this again, pouring it back into the bowl, and we still can't use the stuff that we're throwing away. We still can't use it for anything yet. Cover it up. And you're just covering up from dust and stuff like that because you don't want to put the thing tight on it because then it won't catch the yeast. You know what I mean? See you guys tomorrow. This is the end of day 3, 72 hours later. Look how beautiful this is. Look at all these bubbles. All this yeast that's developed inside of our starter. This is what we're looking for. No, I lost my bowl. Let me go throw out half. Half cup of water, the good water, not from the faucet. When I say good water, whatever you go buy from the water store, I don't think it's distilled, but it's filtered water. Of course, you could throw it right in there, but I always mix it separately because I have the water measured. Oh, look, see, it's looking bubbly. It's looking quite lively. Put this in here. And I do believe this is the end of the 3rd day. It's not summer, so I really do feel like I should let it go a little while longer. Stir this in here. Cover it up again. See you tomorrow night. That's when I will decide if we will set it to proof the sponge or not, or if we're going to feed it another day, all right? See you tomorrow. So let's see what it looks like. See all these bubbles? Amazing. Now let me stir it up. Yeah, it's smelling pretty good. It's smelling kind of liquory. I'm going to pour everything out into this. This is at the end of the 4th day, and I've decided that the starter is ready, so I'm going to go ahead and proof the starter or make the sponge so that we can make 1 loaf of bread. Thanks for watching. If you're seeing me on Facebook, don't forget to follow and like the page and put me in your watch so that you can know when I upload another video. And if you're seeing me on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my uploads. Bye now.